Hey beautiful people, Ryan Hamer here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be talking about why you should always get promises or guarantees from a collection agent or a collector or a creditor in writing. And it's as simple as it sounds. What do I mean by that? If you are negotiating to pay down your debt or to get your debt removed from your credit bureau report, you always need to get confirmation of whatever they promise you in writing. So let's get into it. When you make a phone call to a creditor, you never know what's going to happen. You never know whether you're going to get somebody who's going to be willing to work with you or somebody who's going to give you a hard time. So always play it by ear and always be very careful with regards to what you say and how you say it. Now, we always talk about acknowledgement of debt. Always be careful with regards to what you say, especially with respect to the time frame of your debt. Like, where are you with your debt? Is the alleged debt that you owe within the statute of limitations where the creditor can still sue you? So I'm in Ontario. If you're in Ontario, then if it's within the first 2 years, then they can still sue you. You might want to take a look at your municipality or your jurisdiction to find out what the statute of limitations are within your jurisdiction, to find out whether a creditor or someone that you owe can still come after you. There is a window of time in which you have no protection from being sued. Once that deadline passes, those 2 years, once they pass here in Ontario, then they can't come after you and sue you. They can still use whatever remedy that they can to try and collect the debt, but they cannot sue you. Okay, so that's important. Now, when you contact the creditor, because you know that they can't sue you, you don't go with them half-cocked, you don't go with any attitude, you don't go in there angry, you don't say, hey, I got all this stuff on my credit bureau report, you're killing me here. No, you don't go in like that. You go and you ask questions. There is an alleged debt on my credit bureau report, and I am looking to see if we can come to some sort of arrangement whereby, I'd like to settle the debt. Are you offering any settlement arrangements? Am I still able to maintain a relationship with you guys? Am I able to have the item removed from my credit bureau report as an error, or whatever you deem fit? Should I pay you in full? If I'm able to pay you in full, or the agreed upon amount in full. Now, this is very important. The language that we're using here is simply to say, you know what? I may or may not own this debt. I'm not saying that I own this debt, but there is something that's on my credit bureau report that I would like to resolve. And I'd like to resolve it in such a way whereby you guys will take it off of my credit bureau report, which will allow me to go my way, and you will get your money satisfying the debt in your books, and you guys can go along. Now, what they're going to tell you is, they're going to tell you, well, once it's put on your credit bureau report, we can't take it off. In Ontario, it's the law, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. Well, accurate debts must remain on your credit bureau report, as well as the fact that the creditor has every right and they have carte blanche, they have access. So they are able to remove something off of your credit bureau report if they choose to, if it's within reason, if it's at their discretion, if you've made it worth their while, so to speak. So it is possible. And those are just some scenarios I'm just saying. But if there is an issue, for example, if it's not your debt, and you're able to prove that, or they are able to, maybe it was an accident. Mistakes happen. Maybe the name is wrong. Maybe the address is wrong. So these are different things that can come into play as to why a debt may or may not be removed from your credit bureau report. It could be one of those situations where the debt is from 10 years ago. I saw a situation where there was a debt and they were trying to pawn it off, and it's been like 8-10 years. That's statute barred. They cannot do that. The debt is past the 2-year statute of limitations, but well beyond the actual sitting period on a credit bureau report, where if you have a debt and it's on your credit bureau report, typically it would be there 67 years, and we're like 8-9 years. What are you doing? How can you come after me for a debt that is no longer relevant? You couldn't sue me, and you never put it on my credit bureau report, and even if you did, it wouldn't be there anymore. So when you come to me with the date of last payment, and I look at the date of last payment, and that date of last payment is, I don't know what, 2010? Get out of here. It's not happening. So anyway, when you are on the phone with the person that you're talking to, the agent or what have you, say you're able to go through all these things. Say the person is working with you, they're willing to flex, they like you, and they want to say, all right, you know what? Yeah, we'll clear up the books. Yeah, sure, pay me. Now, they will say, all right, but you got to pay me first. And then you say, you know what? No. I will pay you, but I need two things. I need confirmation. I need written confirmation. You can either send it to me in email, or fax it to me, or send me a letter stating that, yes, once X amount, this particular debt, yes, we will remove the item from both credit bureaus once we receive this in our item. As per our conversation, we will remove the item from the credit bureaus as per our discussion once payment is made. That's it. It doesn't have to say, and the description, right? It doesn't have to say we're removing this because of this, that, and then some. There is no reason given. There doesn't need to be a reason. They can contact the credit bureau and say, hey, that debt there for Ryan Hamer, I want it removed. That's it. That's all. The credit bureau simply is a warehouse, a houser, a hotel for guests. The guest is the actual debt. Right? So you as the guest can check out and move your luggage out and baggage out, whatever, and you can simply say, look, I no longer want that room reserved. I no longer want that person there, or what have you, and you can have that stuff pulled out. So they are the furnisher. The creditor is the furnisher of the information, and they, as the furnisher, have every right to be able to contact the credit bureau and say, look, I want this removed. Okay? You have that letter as proof. So then, what happens is you pay them, they remove it, and then you go your merry way. But what happens, Ryan, if they say they're going to remove it, I pay them, and they don't remove the item? Well, then I'm going to ask you, did you get it in writing as I told you to? And you say, no, I didn't. I said, rewatch this video. The reason why you want to get it in writing is to cover your black side, cover your backside, cover yourself, cover yourself, cover yourself, cover yourself. You want to cover yourself because it's your word against theirs, right? Once it's in writing, it's a legally binding document, and it's going to have somebody's name attached to it, so you have recourse. Then you can always take that that company to small claims court, because they gave you a contractual document which they didn't agree to, which they didn't adhere. It literally was a transactional sort of thing, and they breached. So you can kind of hang them by that. They're not going to want to go through the trouble of that. Okay, and also you have that documentation for your records that you can send to the credit bureau should they not honor the item. Should they not honor the conversation? Then you can simply go to the credit bureaus and you can say, look, I spoke with these guys and there was an arrangement. They knew that they were wrong. They knew that they were going to remove it, and this is the documentation, so it should be removed. They said they told me that if they didn't get around to it, then I have this document for my protection just in case. Then you also want to keep that document should in the future you go for a loan or something like that, and they bring up the debt. Then you could say, well, look, it was an error, it was a mistake. They said that they were going to remove it. We sorted it out. I talked to them, and they didn't remove it, or they did. And here's documentation from them. And then once it is removed, you're going to get something from Equifax telling you, Equifax or TransUnion, saying that they removed the item. Okay, so that piece of paper is so important. always get promises and guarantees to do something in writing. And this doesn't just relate to credit. This relates to all other aspects of business. When somebody promises you something, you always want to get it in writing so you can hold them accountable if you need to. But having this in writing definitely helps you because people lie. Creditors lie. Collection agencies, sometimes they have nefarious individuals who work there that lie, that don't tell the truth, that don't hold up their end of the bargain. All they want is their commission, and they want to get paid right after you pay. So they'll tell you whatever you want to hear just so they can convince you to send in your money. So don't get suckered by them. Make sure that you speak to a manager. Make sure you speak with somebody that's a little higher up, or make sure you speak to somebody who has the signing authority to write that letter out for you. All right? Hopefully you guys have found this video useful. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment down in the comment section and let me know what resonated with you in this video and what it was about this particular topic that you found beneficial. All right? Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Please feel free to like and share, and have a good one, all right? My name is Ryan Hamer, and I'm out.